everyone. My name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. Thanks for joining me once again. This video is going to be about Terareum. If you couldn't tell by looking on the screen right now, I've had people ask me to do more Terareum videos. Unfortunately, there just isn't a ton of stuff going on. There's really no new updates. So what I thought I'd do is talk a little bit and give maybe some thoughtful observations. Hopefully you think they're thoughtful and not stupid, but I'm just going to give some observations and maybe what we can see moving forward and kind of the mindset we need to be in right now. And hopefully you enjoy this. And if you do, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support out there. But this one, if you're listening, this one goes out to John Smith. John has mentioned, I believe more than once on my channel, that I need to do a Terareum update or more Terareum videos. I don't remember exactly what the comment was, but it was a sentence that mentioned me and Terareum in it. So here I am. John, this one's for you. So as I said, there really isn't anything to update, right? Nothing exciting going on. The market is garbage right now, right? It's horrible. As we can see, everything's down, right? And I'll show you Terareum's chart. Okay, this doesn't look pretty. This is ugly, but this isn't just Terareum. This is all things, especially in DeFi, anything attached to Ethereum right now, because since the merge, Ethereum's been dropping, but it's also been dropping along with everything else. So really no specific items to detail as to why we're dropping. We know we have the Fed going to announce another 0.75% interest rate hike coming up in the next week or so, but we knew that was coming. So this really shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, but I think this is the market's, everybody's overall way of pricing into it, that news that's going to happen in a week or so. And then we may get a little bounce once they do this 7.5 and it's not some crazy, 1% or anything. I think we'll bounce back a little bit, but that's just my speculation. I have no idea. Don't have a crystal ball. Observations. And here is one on the price, right? I like to have the mindset that this is a long-term project, and not just this one, but most projects that are coming out now are long-term. We're out of the season of 1000x coins, in 1 week or 1 day. I just don't see that happening anymore. You may get one or two here or there over the next year, but with regulation on the horizon, especially in the US, that is not going to be allowed. The type of marketing that's done is not going to be allowed. If it's determined any of these to be securities, there's going to be full disclosures and licensing and all this kind of stuff. So it's really the new projects coming out are really going to get thin. And why are they going to get thin? Because they know they're going to come under some sort of regulation. And a lot of these projects that come out, honestly, aren't legit projects. A lot of them are cash grabs, just NFT projects claiming they're going to have an NFT marketplace and they're going to have a play to earn game and they're going to have all this stuff, which, a lot of them aren't going to come out with, but they're going to tell you that so that you buy their token and they can make money. You might have a few legit projects that make it through this whole regulation season. Terareum is a great example. Terareum, I believe, is a long-term project. They're going to be just fine. I know they're doing their due diligence in the US and other countries in order to get ready maybe for regulation or getting licensed and doing all of the things that they need to do so that they are relevant in the future and they don't get chased out of countries like the US. So having said that, I like to have the long-term mindset, and the long-term mindset is I'm going to get into projects that I believe are long-term viable, right? They're not going to get pushed out. They're not going to run out of money. They're not going to run out of steam. The community's not going to turn against them, right? And Terareum is one of those projects. Now, I also can be critical of Terareum. Okay, there are some things I don't like, and I will voice those things in a critical way, in a respectful way. I'm not fudding anything. And I know people like to use that term very loosely, and anything negative that you might have to say, even though it is constructive criticism, they just like to say that you're being negative and you're fudding and you need to be blocked on Twitter. So that's not what I'm doing here. And if you think that's what I'm doing, you are free to not watch the video or listen to my opinion. I'm okay with that. The price action comes down to holding on to this thing long term, right? Nobody wants to sell now because really, if you've ever bought this token, if you sell now, you're at a loss. Okay, you don't have to have bought in at the all-time high to be losing money right now. Nearly everybody in this space is at a loss, but you're not really realizing the loss until you sell it. My point is, don't be concerned about short-term price fluctuations. And yes, it's been a few months, but if you believe in this project long-term, this price action shouldn't bother you at all. So this price action isn't permanent, right? It's going to go up in the future at some point. So, and you want to be around as an investor to be in the game long enough to be able to profit from that and enjoy the successes of the project that you've been supporting. So try not to get all wrapped up into this price going down and how come it's not moving and what's going on. And I've explained time and time again how the price moves and why it moves. And people just aren't buying right now. Everybody is scared in the market, and they're taking their money and they're holding it aside, and they don't want to jump in yet because they think it's going to keep going down. So you just have to do nothing, right? That's all you have to do is nothing. And you wait. You sit on your hands. You don't sell. You don't have to buy anymore. You don't do anything. You just do nothing and you wait for it to come back. You should not be concerned about the price. Now, if you are somebody who believes that this project is going to go to zero, well, number one, I don't know what you're doing in the project to begin with. And number two, maybe you should consider that and consider exiting your position and moving on to something else, right? Everybody's free to do that. But we have to start changing our mindset on how we view the market. The crypto market is changing, and you have to change with it, or you're going to get scared and you're going to get left behind. You have to consider everything as a long-term hold now. And a long-term hold can be months, it could be years. Building a centralized exchange is a big task. Maybe they started before they even launched. Maybe they were working on it before then. I don't know. But it's going to take them nearly a year, right, from start to finish to come out with this if everything works out and it comes out in November and they don't have any major problems. So we have to kind of flip how we think about things, and we're out of the world of the 1000x, overnight. This project is not going to 1000x overnight ever again. I don't believe that. I don't think you could ever convince me of that. It's going to go up steadily over time. And as they reach certain milestones, it's going to, it can increase in price. Not a prediction. Okay. Not financial advice, but having experience in markets such as this, that's probably what's going to happen, right? I think that's the most reasonable expectation you can have now. If you're considering that, then you shouldn't be too worried about the price and the negativity. It doesn't really matter. If people are critical of the project, that doesn't matter either. That's not going to make the price go down because one person doesn't like it. So anyway, enough about the price volatility and being too upset about the market being down, because this is really all of crypto, not just Terareum. I believe there's going to be, exchange listings on the horizon at some point. And I'll point out that Milton actually put out a tweet, which is honestly right now, it's a little disappointing because I don't know if he can back it up. He says it would be great if we can get a top 10 exchange listing in the upcoming weeks, right? Winky face. So what does he mean by this? Nobody has any idea. Are we supposed to believe that they're going to be getting on a top 10 exchange in the coming weeks? This was a week ago, and we haven't heard anything about it. And then today or yesterday, he says working on a top 50 listing as per roadmap. So I don't know what this means or why they do this, because if this doesn't happen in the next coming weeks, right, this is just, I don't want to say it's a lie. Maybe this is just his attempt to keep people interested, maybe try to hype it a little bit or keep people positive. But this doesn't, this really doesn't do any good unless there's really some truth to this. And then also, and I talked about this on my live stream on Saturday, that this could mean any one of, different things. This could be a top 10 exchange based on volume, a top 10 exchange based on number of coins offered, top 10 exchange based on any number of data points. It doesn't necessarily mean that this is going to be a Binance or a Coinbase or a crypto.com or a KuCoin. Putting stuff out like this, I don't think is very helpful at all, unless something concrete is coming in the near future. That's my little constructive criticism for Milton, and I'm sure he's back working hard. I'd like to see the guys stay out of the kind of the social media realm with just other than just, facts, what's going on, what's happening, what just happened, and announcing things like that just happened. Like these kind of announcements here, these were positive, right? We didn't have to guess. There was no mystery behind it. We didn't have to wait for weeks and weeks and weeks for, good news. I mean, this happened. They said, hey, this is what's going on. This would happen. So, and that's what people want to see, right? That's what investors are looking for. So that's my little bit of criticism. Of course, we can talk about the marketing aspect or the non-marketing aspect. There's really only a couple of people in the YouTube world that are even still talking about it. And, there's really not a lot that's going on to really be marketed to, and maybe they don't want to spend the money just yet. But that's, I can disagree or agree with whatever it is they're doing, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to say something that's going to change their mind. So we're just going to have to wait and see what they do. My other point before we go is they really need to consider a community liaison, right? Somebody maybe higher up in the community who's been around a while, who knows what's going on, or who knows a little bit of what's going on, and who has the community's trust. Somebody who can reach out to the devs when there's questions or concerns, and then can turn around and give that information to the community without it having to come from the devs. The devs don't have to spend their time doing tons of AMAs and all this kind of stuff. And somebody who's impartial and can understand that people have questions, and sometimes they're serious questions. And if you have a lot of money put in here and you have a concern, you should be able to voice that concern without being called a fudder and then getting blocked, right? Those are the kinds of things that are huge red flags for communities. And I hate to see it happen, but it does happen in this one quite often. So that would really be my just my other suggestion right now going forward. If they could incorporate that somehow, I think that would calm everything down, calm everybody down. Somebody to be a leader in the community, and not just the social media marketing guy, but somebody really who can engage with the community and answer questions in a timely fashion and be concerned about the community's concerned, right? That's what we want to see. We want to know that the dev team is able to follow up on our concerns and give us answers, in a timely fashion, and not make us wait, for another month for an AMA or any of that stuff. So, and they do owe that to us, whether they think they do or not. They are not above the community. They got to be part of the community. And there's a good way that they can do that by appointing somebody or hiring somebody or whatever they want to do, whatever they think fits best. That can kind of be that back and forth and give us the answers and the hype when it comes, right? It doesn't have to be all bad, give us the good news when that's coming down the pike as well. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. These are only my opinions. I'm only one guy. I've got a bag of terrarium, and I really hope this team does very well for all of us and all of crypto. Obviously, we don't want anything to fail. We don't want any bad projects out there. To the Teratribe, let's keep going. Let's move forward. Let's put the bickering and arguing behind us and move on. Really, that's all we have to do. So until next time, and you guys might think about joining me on Saturday, and my live streams on Saturday. It's going to be at 6 p.m. It'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Every Saturday, I'm going to be doing updates for my other projects. I'm sure going to be talking about Terareum and MetaMonkey and XRP and all the things that I like to talk about. And then whatever it is you guys want to talk about, we can do that as well. So, and until the next one, I will see you guys. Have a great night.